Dear friends, let me begin with a simple but powerful question. What if lowering your blood sugar did not depend on a lifelong prescription of pills, powders, or expensive supplements? What if, instead, the solution was something creamy, smooth, and already waiting for you in your kitchen cabinet? For millions of Americans living with diabetes or prediabetes, blood sugar management often feels like a battle fought at every meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even that late-night craving all become tests of discipline, filled with hidden risks of glucose spikes, inflammation, and energy crashes. But here is a surprising twist backed by science. 3 specific nut butters, when chosen carefully and eaten in the right way, can flatten glucose spikes by up to 30%, calm inflammation, reduce nerve pain, improve circulation, support fertility, and even enhance the quality of sleep. These are not exotic powders from faraway lands. They are not trendy superfoods that cost $40 a jar. They are everyday spreads, familiar and affordable, but with extraordinary healing potential hidden inside. In this video, we will explore 3 of them in detail: peanut butter, almond butter, and cashew butter. You will discover exactly how each one works inside the diabetic body, how much to use, when to eat them, what science has revealed about their effects, and even a delicious recipe for each. By the end, you will never look at these spreads the same way again. Peanut butter, the childhood favorite turned adult medicine. Let us begin with peanut butter. For many people, peanut butter is more than food. It is a memory, school lunches, late-night snacks, or a comforting sandwich made by a parent. But beneath its nostalgic taste lies one of the most powerful, affordable, and accessible tools for managing type 2 diabetes. Despite being creamy and rich, natural peanut butter has a nutrient profile that makes it uniquely suited to stabilize blood sugar and improve metabolic health. Just 2 tablespoons, which is about 32 grams, provide approximately 190 calories, 16 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein, and 7 grams of total carbohydrates. Because 2 grams come from fiber, the net carbohydrate content is only 5 grams. The glycemic index of peanut butter is very low, usually between 13 and 18. Its glycemic load is just 1 to 2, depending on the brand and whether it is unsweetened. In simple terms, this means that peanut butter digests slowly, causes minimal rise in blood sugar, and even blunts the glycemic impact of higher carbohydrate foods when eaten together. Scientific evidence, a study published in the Journal of Nutrition, found that when participants added peanut butter to a carbohydrate-based breakfast, their post-meal glucose spike was reduced by almost 30%. Insulin levels also remained more stable for the following 6 to 8 hours. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that peanuts and peanut butter can improve satiety and help regulate body weight in people with type 2 diabetes. This is an incredible advantage for anyone struggling with fatigue, energy crashes, or insulin resistance. Nutrients that matter. Peanut butter's benefits do not stop at its glycemic profile. It is also rich in several compounds that support cardiovascular and metabolic health. Arginine, an amino acid that helps relax blood vessels, improving circulation. This is especially important for people with diabetes-related blood flow issues. Resveratrol, a powerful antioxidant that enhances insulin signaling and reduces oxidative stress in the walls of blood vessels. Magnesium, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter contain about 54 milligrams, which is 13% of the daily requirement. This is critical because research shows that up to 60% of people with type 2 diabetes are magnesium deficient. Without magnesium, insulin receptors cannot function properly, and glucose uptake by cells is impaired. By restoring this mineral through a daily spoonful of peanut butter, You support insulin sensitivity and glucose control, satiety and appetite control. One of peanut butter's hidden powers is satiety, the ability to make you feel full. Its unique combination of healthy fats and protein triggers the release of hormones such as peptide YY and cholecystokinin, while lowering the hunger hormone ghrelin. This is why eating a tablespoon of natural peanut butter before a meal or pairing it with a fiber-rich fruit can significantly reduce post-meal calorie intake. It prevents cravings for sugary snacks and helps people lose weight naturally without feeling deprived. Weight management is particularly important for people with type 2 diabetes. Excess body weight worsens insulin resistance, increases inflammation, and accelerates complications. By controlling hunger, peanut butter supports not only blood sugar, but also long-term metabolic health, gut health, and the microbiome. Another unique feature of peanut butter is its subtle impact on the gut microbiome. Although it is not a fiber superstar, peanut butter contains polyphenols and natural plant compounds that act as mild prebiotics. These compounds feed beneficial gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. SCFAs are anti-inflammatory molecules that protect the colon lining, regulate blood sugar, and even improve mood and brain health. When consumed consistently in small amounts, peanut butter builds gut health and inflammation control from the inside out. A review in Frontiers in Nutrition highlights that SCFA production is directly linked to improved insulin sensitivity and reduced systemic inflammation, both critical for managing diabetes. Myths and misunderstandings. A common myth is that peanut butter is too fatty to be diabetic-friendly. The truth is that the fats in peanut butter are mostly monounsaturated fats, the same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil. These fats improve insulin sensitivity, lower LDL cholesterol, and protect heart function. The real problem lies in commercial brands that add sugar, hydrogenated oils, and artificial flavors. These ingredients transform a healing food into a harmful one. Always choose natural peanut butter with just 2 ingredients: peanuts and a pinch of salt. Avoid reduced fat or sweetened varieties, which often replace healthy fats with sugar and fillers. Practical tips and recipes. Here are some simple ways to use peanut butter for maximum benefit. Glucose control strategy. Eat 1 tablespoon of natural peanut butter 10 to 15 minutes before a high-carbohydrate meal such as oatmeal, rice, or fruit. Snack idea. Slice 1 small green apple and dip it into a tablespoon of natural peanut butter. The fiber from the apple combined with the fat and protein from the peanut butter creates a powerful glucose-stabilizing mini-meal. Breakfast option. Stir 1 tablespoon into unsweetened Greek yogurt with a sprinkle of cinnamon for a protein-rich, blood sugar-friendly start to your day. Caution: peanut butter is calorie-dense. Each tablespoon contains about 95 calories. Stick to 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. If you have high blood pressure, be mindful of added salt. Always stir your natural peanut butter when first opened and store it in the refrigerator to prevent oil separation and rancidity. Almond butter, the metabolic multitasker. If peanut butter is the childhood classic that secretly doubles as a metabolic medicine, almond butter is the sophisticated cousin. Smooth, slightly sweet, and nutty. Almond butter may appear like a luxury item on the grocery shelf, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful spreads diabetics can add to their daily routine. Made by grinding whole almonds into a creamy paste, almond butter is much more than a trendy health food. It is a carefully balanced package of heart-healthy fats, muscle-relaxing minerals, powerful antioxidants, and metabolic stabilizers. 2 tablespoons, about 32 grams, contain 190 to 200 calories, 18 grams of fat, 7 grams of protein, and 6 grams of total carbohydrates. Because 3 grams are fiber, the net carb content comes down to just 3 grams. That is remarkably low for something that tastes this rich. Its glycemic index is approximately 15, and its glycemic load is under 1, which means it barely raises blood sugar. In fact, when eaten alongside high-fiber vegetables or low-glycemic fruits, it actually helps flatten the glucose curve of the entire meal. The magnesium powerhouse. Almond butter shines brightest when we examine its magnesium content. 2 tablespoons deliver about 89 milligrams, roughly 21% of the daily requirement. That is more magnesium than most multivitamins provide in a single serving. Why does this matter? Because magnesium is essential for the body's use of insulin. Without magnesium, insulin receptors cannot function properly, and glucose cannot enter cells efficiently. Low magnesium is strongly linked to insulin resistance, higher A1C levels, and increased nerve pain in people with diabetes. Scientific evidence. A large meta-analysis published in Diabetes. CARE reviewed over 10 cohort studies and found that higher magnesium intake was consistently associated with a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that every additional 100 milligrams of magnesium per day was linked to a 15% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. By eating almond butter, you are not swallowing a pill, you are consuming magnesium in a natural, bioavailable form, which the body absorbs and uses more effectively. Vitamin E, the antioxidant shield. But magnesium is not almond butter's only gift. It is also one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant critical for protecting blood vessels and insulin-producing beta cells. 2 tablespoons provide about 7.7 milligrams of vitamin E, which is 51% of the daily value. This makes almond butter not just food, but a vascular shield. Vitamin E reduces oxidative damage to arteries, calms systemic inflammation, and improves endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to relax and dilate properly. Scientific evidence. A clinical trial published in the journal Twine Metabolism tested almond-based snacks in adults with type 2 diabetes. After 12 weeks, participants experienced significant reductions in fasting insulin, LDL cholesterol, and waist circumference, even though their overall calorie intake remained the same. Researchers attributed these benefits partly to vitamin E and the unique fat profile of almonds. For diabetics with early signs of retinopathy, neuropathy, or cardiovascular strain, vitamin E in almond butter provides a layer of protection that no candy bar or processed snack could ever match. Heart. Health and fertility benefits. The health of the heart is always top of mind for people living with diabetes. Almond butter supports the heart in multiple ways. The monounsaturated fats, about 11 to 12 grams per serving, help reduce LDL cholesterol and increase HDL, improving the cholesterol ratio. Trace minerals such as copper, manganese, and phosphorus support red blood cell formation and blood vessel integrity. Consistent. Consumption has been linked with improved blood pressure and better endothelial function, but there is another benefit that is often overlooked: fertility support. The vitamin E and zinc in almond butter support reproductive hormone balance in both men and women. For men, this translates into improved sperm vitality and testosterone balance. For women, it supports ovulation and progesterone regulation, processes often disrupted by insulin resistance. Scientific note. A study in fertility and sterility found that vitamin E supplementation improved endometrial thickness and pregnancy rates in women with fertility challenges. Almond butter provides vitamin E naturally in a food-based matrix, appetite regulation, and weight management. Like peanut butter, almond butter excels at appetite regulation. Its fats, protein, and fiber slow digestion, reduce insulin spikes, and stimulates satiety hormones such as GLP-1. This is one reason almond butter is often used in intermittent fasting routines. Eating a spoonful during a fasting window can calm hunger without causing a blood sugar surge. Over time, this practice supports weight loss, lowers A1C, and improves pancreatic function. Scientific evidence. Research in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that almonds and almond products help reduce post-meal glycemia and appetite compared with high-carbohydrate snacks. Practical tips and recipes. For best results, enjoy 1 tablespoon of almond butter as part of a mid-morning snack. Here are a few practical ideas. Spread it on celery or cucumber slices for a crunchy, refreshing snack. Swirl it into unsweetened Greek yogurt with cinnamon for a protein-packed mini-meal. Add a spoonful to a chia seed pudding or low-glycemic smoothie for extra creaminess and minerals. Caution: almond butter is calorie-dense. Stick to 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. Avoid pairing it with high-glycemic breads, crackers, or jams, which cancel out its blood sugar benefits. If you have kidney disease, monitor your potassium intake, as almonds contain about 210 milligrams per tablespoon. Myths and misunderstandings. Some people believe almond butter is too fatty or too caloric for diabetics trying to lose weight. But the type of fat matters more than the amount. The fats in almond butter are monounsaturated and metabolism-boosting. When combined with its fiber and protein, they slow digestion and keep blood sugar stable. Another myth is that flavored almond butters, such as honey or chocolate varieties, are just as healthy. Unfortunately, these versions often contain syrups, palm oils, and added sugars that increase inflammation and blood sugar. Always choose unsweetened, unsalted almond butter with only 1 or 2 ingredients: almonds and perhaps a pinch of salt. A thin layer of oil on top is natural. Just stir it well and refrigerate. Price and accessibility. Almond butter is more expensive than peanut butter, often ranging between $6 and $10 per jar in the United States. But consider what you receive in return: twice the magnesium of peanut butter, high levels of vitamin E, and one of the lowest glycemic loads of any spread. When eaten in moderation, almond butter is not a luxury. It is a therapeutic food that nourishes the pancreas, heart, and nerves. So while peanut butter helps flatten glucose spikes, almond butter goes further, healing blood vessels, supporting fertility, calming inflammation, and delivering minerals that pills often fail to provide. But if you thought almond butter was nutrient-dense, wait until you meet the third spread. A buttery option that delivers vascular healing, hormone balance, and blood sugar support in the smoothest, most indulgent form of all: cashew butter. Cashew butter, the mineral matrix for blood sugar and nerve health. If peanut butter is the affordable classic and almond butter is the nutrient-dense multitasker, then cashew butter is the indulgent healer. Creamy, luxurious, and slightly sweet, cashew butter may seem like a guilty pleasure. But inside its velvety texture lies a powerful matrix of minerals, magnesium, zinc, and copper, that deliver benefits no pill can replicate. Made by grinding raw or roasted cashews into a thick paste, cashew butter provides about 190 to 200 calories per 2 tablespoons, with 16 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and 9 grams of total carbohydrates. Because 1 gram comes from fiber, the net carb load is 8 grams, slightly higher than peanut or almond butter, but still low enough to fit into a diabetic-friendly plan. Its glycemic index ranges between 25 and 30, and its glycemic load is around 3. This is considered moderate but very manageable when cashew butter is paired with fiber or protein-rich foods. Unlike carb-heavy snacks that spike insulin, cashew butter digests slowly, releasing energy steadily and preventing sudden surges. The mineral trio: magnesium, zinc, and copper. Cashew butter's true strength lies in its mineral composition. Magnesium. 2 tablespoons deliver about 83 milligrams, or 20% of the daily requirement. Magnesium regulates blood sugar by activating insulin receptors and supporting nerve conduction. A deficiency in magnesium increases the risk of neuropathy, muscle cramps, and insulin resistance. Zinc. Each serving provides around 2 milligrams, or 18% of daily needs. Zinc plays a critical role in insulin production, immune defense, wound healing, and fertility. For men, zinc supports sperm motility and testosterone levels. For women, it helps regulate ovulation and progesterone balance, processes often disturbed in type 2 diabetes. Copper. Cashew butter provides about 0.6 milligrams per serving, which is 67% of the daily requirement. Copper is vital for collagen formation, red blood cell production, and vascular elasticity. It helps prevent the brittle arteries and poor circulation that so often accompany long-term diabetes. Scientific evidence. Nutigood study published in Biological Trace Element Research found that zinc deficiency is strongly associated with higher A1C levels and poorer insulin sensitivity in diabetics. Another trial in nutrition and metabolism demonstrated that moderate cashew intake improved fasting glucose by 10 to 12% and reduced markers of insulin resistance. Research in diabetes and vascular disease. Research highlights the role of copper and magnesium in improving endothelial function, reducing oxidative stress, and protecting against diabetic complications. Cardiovascular protection. Cashew butter is not only a blood sugar ally, it is also a heart protector. About 8 grams of its fat per serving comes from monounsaturated fat, the same type found in olive oil. These fats lower LDL cholesterol, raise HDL cholesterol, and reduce triglyceride levels. Even more importantly, they improve endothelial function, which is the ability of blood vessels to relax and deliver oxygen efficiently. For diabetics, endothelial dysfunction is one of the earliest steps toward complications such as heart attack, stroke, and kidney disease. By eating cashew butter in moderation, you nourish the endothelium and keep circulation healthy. Celebrity. Too many carbs. One common misunderstanding is that cashews, and by extension cashew butter, are too high in carbohydrates to be safe for diabetics. But this is a myth based on misunderstanding total carbohydrates versus net carbohydrates and glycemic load. Although cashew butter contains slightly more carbs than almond or peanut butter, its fiber, fat, and protein content blunt the impact on blood sugar. In fact, studies show that when refined carbohydrate snacks are replaced with cashew-based options, participants experience improved fasting insulin, lower LDL cholesterol, and even reductions in waist circumference. The key is portion control and pairing. A spoonful of cashew butter on cucumber slices has a completely different metabolic impact compared to spreading it on white bread with jelly. Practical tips and recipes. Cashew butter works best as a mid-afternoon snack, when cravings are strongest and blood sugar tends to dip. Here are some science-backed ways to enjoy it. Snack idea. Spread 1 tablespoon of unsalted cashew butter on cucumber or zucchini rounds. The combination of fat and fiber stabilizes blood sugar and prevents evening cravings. Smoothie option: blend 1 tablespoon with unsweetened almond milk, chia seeds, and a dash of cinnamon. This creates a creamy, blood sugar-friendly drink that digests slowly and supports hormone balance. Energy balls. Mix cashew butter with rolled oats, flax seeds, and a touch of unsweetened cocoa powder to create bite-sized snacks that fight inflammation and supply minerals. Caution: cashew butter is calorie-dense and very easy to overconsume because of its sweetness. Limit yourself to 1 tablespoon per serving. Always choose unsweetened, unsalted varieties with cashews as the only ingredient. Be cautious with commercial brands that add sugar, hydrogenated oils, or milk powders, as these negate the benefits. Price and value. Cashew butter is a premium product, often priced at $8 to $10 per jar in the United States. This is more expensive than peanut or almond butter, largely due to the labor-intensive process of harvesting cashews. But its mineral density and heart-healing benefits make it a worthy addition to a diabetic-friendly rotation. Think of it not as an indulgence, but as a nutritional therapy, a creamy ally that supports the very organs diabetes tries to damage: the pancreas, the heart, the blood vessels, and the nerves. So, my friends, here is the truth. Peanut butter flattens glucose spikes, restores magnesium, and keeps you full. Almond butter protects blood vessels, nourishes nerves, and shields your heart with antioxidants. Cashew butter provides a mineral matrix that heals circulation, supports hormones, and reduces insulin resistance. These are not just spreads. They are creamy, delicious medicines disguised as everyday foods. When used in moderation and chosen in their natural forms, nut butters transform from indulgences into tools of healing. Remember, always practice portion control. Choose unsweetened natural varieties and pair them with fiber or protein-rich foods. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone managing diabetes. Subscribe to Nutigood HealthBook for more science-based nutrition strategies. And let me know in the comments below, which nut butter will you add to your daily routine?